Well, hello there. I hope you're all enjoying your turkey coma like the rest of us. I'm Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of Regalytics, in my new digs. I'm no longer sitting on a box at a cardboard table. I now officially have an office in my house and a standing desk. And I'm here to give you your updates on a surprisingly busy week, given that it included Thanksgiving. 6,424 alerts, and 12 of them from over 5 agencies cover our topic of the week, which is Binance. Okay, so a few firsts here. First of all, Binance and its CEO are going to pay over $4.3 billion in fines between the DOJ, FinCEN, OFAC, and the CFTC. Not to mention last week's $13.1 million fine from the Australian Securities and Investments Commission. What did they do wrong? Pretty much everything. This wasn't just an operate openly and cooperate and then be slapped on the wrist for not registering early enough, though that was a part of it. It wasn't just a, hey, bad anti-money laundering protections and controls, though that was a part of it. It was a willful evasion of U.S. law where the products were offered to U.S. customers using a web of foreign entities that were designed to evade U.S. law specifically. And to that end, the former chief compliance officer apparently wrote in an email something to the effect of CFTC equals civil case equals pay a fine and settle. This did not go over very well, and that CFO is personally fined $1.5 million and banned from operating certain types of regulated entities. While yes, the SEC has personally fined a CCO in the past few years, this will be a first for the CFTC. But the message is clear. If you're willfully evading the law and the regulators discover it, you can expect that they're going to make sure that it was a terrible business decision. Moving on to the regulator of the week, the SEC, who busted the former mayor of the town of Sterlington, Louisiana, in connection with a false set of financial statements in relation to its municipal bond offerings in 2017 and 2018. They were supposed to finance a water system, but in addition to providing these false financial projections, they failed to disclose that $3 million of an earlier bond offering was misdirected to pay for sports complex improvements, legal fees, and payroll, wink wink, instead of the sewer improvements as initially promised. But the real piece of cake is my girl, Hester Pierce at the SEC. I mean, come on. She made a Taylor Swift reference in her comment to the new asset-backed securities conflict of interest rule. I feel so alone sometimes having all of this day-to-day joy talking about regulation and the entertaining show that it is. But Hester, she makes me feel so normal. So yes, there's a final rule that will close out some of the lingering Dodd-Frank requirements having to do with ABS issuers taking positions opposite from the securities they're selling, which is a conflict of interest. And yes, most of the commissioners felt it was appropriate, but Hester and her way with words, I quote her again, although not covering as many eras as this year's most watched concert tour, this rulemaking comes close. Like its musical counterpart, a rule that is more than a decade and multiple iterations in the making should be really good. This rule, with its lingering ambiguities and overbreadth, may not be. Gotta love it. If you want to get me a great holiday present, it would be an autographed photo of Hester Pierce. I will also note there is a proposed sister rule out there this week from the CFTC having to do with the types of investments that future commission merchants, FCMs, and derivatives clearing organizations may make with funds held for the benefit of customers. Comments for that one are due January 17th. And speaking of comment dates, federal bank regulatory agencies announced January 16th is the new deadline for comments on their long-term debt proposed rule for large banks. Moving on, the FDIC Board of Directors has established a special committee to oversee an independent review of the agency culture. Notably, 2 male co-chairs were selected to lead the independent review, but I guess with all 5 board seats being held by males, I guess there wasn't another choice. I am merely stating facts. The FTC this week approved a resolution allowing them to use a compulsory process in non-public investigations involving products and services that use or claim to be produced using artificial intelligence. This means the FTC can subpoena anyone they want for the next 10 years for any question they want if they're investigating AI. Again, I'm merely stating facts. Last bit of incredibly important news this week. The US Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, and the UK National Cybersecurity Centre released guidelines for secure AI system development. CTOs, take heed. These are important standards that will become the industry standard. And that's it this week for Regalytics. Join me every Wednesday for your dose of regulatory news.